In today's Urbandoned video, we are exploring the remains of a huge industrial site in northern England. The facility would produce photographic chemicals used by major camera brands for more than 30 years. Most of the older abandoned buildings are disguised by new developments and businesses, yet there is still much to be discovered as we infiltrate the immense grounds. Join us as we explore the factory and watch as we make a narrow escape after being trapped in a room with workers. Remember to click subscribe and press the notification bell to never miss a video. Last time we asked the question, how could things have been done differently to protect retail sites during the pandemic? We had various responses, but have selected this one from 3000 GT, who suggested that the government should have provided funding for smaller businesses in order to assist them through the damaging times of COVID-19. It's a shame that this wasn't the case, especially looking at the shopping centre we just shared. Today we are curious to hear, how would you escape from the situation we end up in this video? Let us know below to possibly feature in our next upload. The time was 9 AM in winter 2020. Currently we are trekking through a live minefield of workers, cameras and security in an attempt to reach one of the larger disused structures nearby, but it wasn't going to be a simple mission. Eventually we had arrived beside the towering premises, formerly a chemical factory that was roughly decommissioned 7 years back. The overgrowth surrounding it and the missing wall panels was enough reasoning behind the structure being vacant. Now, all that was left to do would be to dodge the CCTV on each corner of the building whilst trying to find an entrance. After the lengthy walk through bushy terrain, we were glad to finally accomplish our aim, just as the rain was beginning to fall. Going up this staircase was pretty pointless because all the doors are sealed.
Yeah.
But it was good to get a bit of a break after that long entry.
There's a power on down there though.
There's power?
Yeah.
Wow, you wouldn't expect that. There's a really nice colour scheme in here. Yeah, 90% of the doors in here are locked. These are strange looking machines. Looks like something you'd find in a kitchen. You know you're in some sort of chemical place when you see a hazmat suit. Could easily play dress up in here. It's like a little workshop though. And there's the bench. See an old telephone in one of the drawers, but the rest of them all appear empty. On the spacious ground floor, there was mostly powder handling and packaging machines, and perhaps signs of storage use from active companies, with tyre marks faded into the ground. God, this is cool. I don't know if you'd class this as a control panel. It's pretty something. Need to be careful with the light because it will definitely come out of these kind of clear-ish windows. These are cool though. They're motors of some sort connecting to a lot of pipes. And there's signage saying process liquid with 4 different pipes. The industrial floors were silent, except for the faint hum of works next door and trucks driving across the site. More machinery lay upstairs, but visibly outdated, probably a reason for the complex's closure. Let's try this staircase. Oh, the lights are all working in here. It's pretty cool, the colour that's coming in because of the green walls. Does that one look open? Look open. Nice. Cheers. Yeah, just better lighting. God knows what these are. Like mini submarines. Apparently these are reactors. I assume below this machine would continue. You can see here one of them was removed, but you can still see the circle where it was. Kind of hastily boarded it up. They're interesting though. These machines are those I've never seen before. So eerie, the small amount of lights that work in here. You get an entire floor with tons on and then there's only one that works. Maybe they were safety lights. With the power functioning in miscellaneous places and the hazy blue light casted through the tinted windows, there was an unusual atmosphere to the halls full of pressure filters and reactors. The building would generate imaging chemicals such as photographic enhancers and couplers for colour film. Oh wow, there's all monitors in here. Keyboards. You can imagine what this room would have been. Even some files left. So many cool signs. The thing about industry is you never know what you're going to get. Like these machines and some of the stuff I've seen there I've never seen before in an industrial building, whereas like in a hospital you always know what you're going to see. It's very cool. Control panel of like a glass window. All these old buttons and switches. Looks like the canteen with a fake plant. Yeah, and these are the kitchens, definitely the canteen. Just standard. There he goes. Once again, we would discover that the electricity worked in some rooms. We think that the structure must still be connected to the grid, possibly due to the active businesses looking over it. We had seeked out some intact laboratories, but these were unfortunately locked.
Back up to the roof level. At the end of the explore now really, in this part of the building anyway. So we're coming up and hoping that if we do get seen, it shouldn't matter. There's people moving around that site everywhere.
One of those lorries is moving over there.
There was a lot of work going on over there before and I can't see anyone. Oh, there's a lorry moving.
There's a lorry. But yeah, the diggers and construction workers don't seem to be here.
No, they seem to have gone.
Which might be good for our next step. This chemical factory was the most modern property that was derelict, probably only dating back to the 1980s. It is unlikely that they will ever find an alternate purpose for it, yet as far as we are aware, it still stands empty and neglected today. If we have time, that huge old building over there is our next target for the day, but it's in a much more busier part of the site. So I'm interested to see if we can make it work. Taking a gaze over our surroundings made us realise how busy the area was, vehicles and workers moving in every direction. We still had another building that we wanted to visit, but it looked ever more improbable the longer we looked at it. Another morning, perhaps a week later, we hadn't taken the risk of crossing the packed grounds to the structure on the opposite side, but had instead chosen to infiltrate it before daylight on a Sunday, believing that we would have it completely to ourselves. These are really cool holding vessels. This place has the classic block window pattern as well. It was clear that the premises were far older than the complex we had witnessed last time, more than likely having been constructed in the early 70s. You can tell instantly from the window design and the layout. Definitely building work going on in here. What remains and hasn't been stripped is dated though. Look at how many old signs are on these. Kind of look like taps, and then I assume this, yeah, definitely this is what would come out. Various chemicals into like a trough. It's fairly self-explanatory. A holding vessel and a making vessel. Storage containers. Just like the ones in the Tetrasil factory. The old glass panelled offices. There's only two though. That small one on the right then, and this larger one. It's quite cool with the furniture and the decay, even though the furniture is pretty modern and standard. Off camera, I just went through the floor, and this room especially, the floor is really dangerous, so I'm just going to stand by the door and not go in. Inside the factory there wasn't much of interest left. Apparently the building had been defunct for decades and stripping of valuables had occurred long ago. Nevertheless, we were still enjoying our morning stroll, appreciating the details that did remain, as well as the bygone architecture. An Avery scale. This looks promising. Shit. There's labs in there which would make up for the ones that were sealed in the last building. Also locked though. Let's look for another way in. It's a cool staircase. Massive window. Remember that those double doors accessing the labs were locked up. It is vital to the next part of the exploration. Found an alternate way into the labs. These are really cool. Very old. Yeah, look at this. Wow. It's completely stripped. I can see no jars or flasks, but the decay and the sort of desks they have set up in here are really good. The labs were very old-fashioned, decaying and original still, and we were very grateful that we had managed to find a separate way in after seeing the main doors were shuttered. Soon enough, however, our period of relaxation would be over, when suddenly a burst of noise told us that workers had entered the facility and were headed towards us. We recommend having subtitles switched on for the following scenes. There's people in the building.
Yeah. We just began to take photos and I just watched someone walk past here. It's a Sunday right now, so we really didn't expect this. Every noise is like, we just don't know whether it's a person walking or there's water and stuff.
I feel like sitting down there in the corner. Sitting down there in the corner, I feel like that's a vibe.
Who's walking past the tree?
Get in one of these labs. Yeah, I feel like we should go all the way to the broken desks and then go left in the little room with the escape door thing.
We just need to cross. Don't do that now.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, far left. Okay, so we're making a move now. Try and get into a little cubby space to hide.
We've literally seen all of this building, we were just taking pictures.
Yeah.
But we just didn't think they'd be here because it's a Sunday. But obviously that's not applying, they're just working anyway, unless they're looking for us.
I don't think they're looking for us.
I'm trying to hear what they're saying. The echo of voices would get louder and louder until the worst thing we could imagine happened.
Yeah, no, they're not going to come in here because they've sealed it off. Unless that is why they're going to come in here. Or if they're full asbestos kit on, just seals and loads of disposable masks. Yeah, they're destroying shit like for asbestos.
Leaving this room?
Put your tripod away.
We packed up our equipment whilst the hazmat suit wearing worker entered the laboratory, unsure of whether he would come to the side of the room we were hiding in.
They just kicked down the door that was locked. This is what they've been doing, they've been destroying these desks. Should we just walk out? Yeah, they were in the room. Back there. They broke the door. That's that noise. Don't know, John, I can run through it. Run out their door. Yeah. No, we'll just walk fast and then just go to the stairs. Yeah, we'll go out the front door with the open. No, I can just roam around. Yeah, no, it'll be fine. We're leaving. Okay. It's over there. It's over there. Doors open, quick. Trying to do pics, they're not on this floor.
Yeah, they're not on this one. Want to do pics?
Let's get some pictures. I just want one of this room in the machine.
Nah, don't risk it.
Yeah. Right up there. too close.
Incredibly, after coming meters from a worker with his back to us, we had bypassed the floor they were dismantling, able to reach a level below where we were certain they weren't touching. It had been a nervy encounter, and we didn't want to chance capture for a second time. Underneath the men above, hard at work, we made our leave, luckily having seen most of the second property before they had arrived. From what we have heard, all of the complex has been demolished to build a new industrial franchise where it once stood. The buildings themselves didn't contain anything truly exceptional, although we will always remember the exploration as one of our most tense and narrow escapes from an abandoned location, probably moments from getting caught if we hadn't took a gamble. We hope you enjoyed a different style of video. If you did, particularly the animation we used, feel free to leave a like to show your support. It is something we might incorporate again in the future. Here are some of our photographs captured at the disused chemical factory. If you like the look of them, check out our Instagram page where we share images from our explores months before they are seen on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We knew back in 2020 when we filmed this documentary that it would be an exciting and captivating watch. We hope we didn't let it down. See you next time.